welcome back to my Lifeyt. Today we are going to do some painting on Goliath. I've already been tinkering with it here and there, getting it ready. I sprayed some primer on it yesterday, and today I'm going to spray some paint, black. Very, very simple. I was going to get it powder coated, but decided because I'll probably end up making changes to it that I'm just going to go with paint. That way I can grind it off, weld it, and be able to make my changes simply. So stay tuned for that. Alright, so for our primer, we used some Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer, the red primer. My metal wasn't really rusty, but that was primer I had in my cabinet. So I just went with it. For the finish, I'm just using some Farming Implement Black, also Rust-Oleum, and an electric Harbor Freight spray gun. The canister at the bottom. Tried using a few of these for other people and had no luck, but this one I've had for about, I don't know, a couple years. I've probably done 6-7 paint jobs with it, and I love it. So I just keep using it. It sprays really nice. It doesn't really get that flat pattern. It has a circle pattern, so you have to get used to that. But beyond that, I mean, you just a little extension cord and you're all set. You don't have to do the air compressor. You don't have to worry about that. On top of that, the spray bombs, the little cans, I mean, they don't seem to coat very well. Where this, you can lay on some paint really, really nice, and like I said, you just gotta get used to the pattern. So my recommendation is to try one out. They're fairly cheap. I think I paid $10-15 for this one, and I've been using it for a couple years. But make sure you clean it just like any other gun. So yeah, we're just gonna, I don't do any special, I don't measure it or anything like that. Usually it's about it ends up being about a 50-50 mix with my thinner. And I just kind of go by consistency, because sometimes my gun doesn't like certain paints and stuff, so I just mix it to where it'll spray it. So some of them are thicker, some of them are thinner. Even in the same brands, it seems like I have had issues with it a little bit. First couple times I tried measuring it, tried doing all that with the different paints that I use. It seems to be a waste of my time. So let's get started on that. So one of the things that I would do after I primer is I would normally wet sand and put a little bit more time into this, but I've already spent time grinding it and making it basically the best I can as far as a frame goes. So what I am going to do though is I'm going to use some Scotchbrite. This is red Scotchbrite. I think they have different colors, which means different grits. This is very fine. Red is very fine, and so I'm just going to go over the part and kind of knock off any. Basically, give it a nice scuff up so that the new paint will stick. And if there's any like runs or anything like that, I'll take a look at those, and maybe have to run a sandpaper on those. But I'm not going to do a ton of prep work on this just because it's a frame and I'm taking it in the woods. I'm having fun with it. So I want it to look nice, but I'm not looking for super detailed perfect paint. So hence the tractor implement paint. It does have a shine to it, maybe not showroom or really fancy though. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll get that paint mixed up. Scotchbrited, and I'm going to take a little bit of my thinner. I'm going to wipe it down to get all of the loose paint off of it, any debris and whatever. So I'm just going to use a rag and some paint thinner, wipe it down. I recommend using some rubber gloves. Where am I at? These aren't the kind that I normally like to wear, but they work. They keep some of that stuff off your hands. You know, thinner will dry your hands out really quick. So wear some kind of protection on that. Also, got my mask here. Not gonna be using it for this, but I'll use it for the painting. Nice thing about these electric spray guns is they don't put out as much of the contaminants into the air. I also have a filter on my furnace in here that's gonna be filtering the air a little bit, which helps. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this down so we can move on to the next step. Paint. I've stirred this up. It's really thick paint, coats really good, so just keep that in mind. You're gonna spray it on, and it's gonna be coated in maybe 2 coats or so. I mean, you're still gonna want to try to do it thin, but the spray's on a lot heavier than your normal, like your spray cans or whatever, and it puts a nice coat, very durable. What I also have, I'm just gonna do, you know, the paint, but I also have what they call, it's called Japan dryer. It's like a drying agent, I think hardening agent too. Helps everything dry faster. It's the colder time of year here still, so I'm gonna add that, a little bit of that to it. It says not to use a whole lot. You know, try to do your instructions on these paints and to get the best results. This isn't the thinner that they recommend to use. I got 3 gallons of it, and I don't have any of the other stuff that they recommend, so I'm not worried about it. I know that it'll work. I've used it before, so I'm gonna go ahead with it. I'm gonna get this all mixed up, put my mask on, and start spraying. But I'm gonna shut the camera off after, like, shortly after I start spraying, because there is some vapors and stuff, and I don't want to get it on the lens. So let's go with it. So we got her all sprayed. I'll give you a few close-ups here and just show you. It turned out really nice. You know, I did miss a few BBs that really pop out once it's painted, but that's not a big deal. Once I get everything on it, they're like tucked behind and stuff. That's why I probably missed them in the beginning. So let me grab the camera. I'll show you a couple close-ups. And I mean, it's been about 2 weeks since I've painted it. Let it dry, and then you know, we're going to start reassembling it here shortly. So let me give you a few close-ups. So our finish, it's not super shiny. It's not like an automotive finish. It's more it's just like a flatter finish on it. It turned out really nice though. No runs that I could find. You know, we got all the major components painted, so looks really good, guys. Thanks for joining us today on My Lifeyt, guys. Goliath's coming along. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit it, and look us up on Facebook. We have a group on there. We'd love to see some new faces and maybe get some new posts on there. And we will see you in the next one.